Today is October the 9th, 2020. This is the Service Hero Show, 365 Days of Awesome. Celebrate success through service. My name is Tamara Hunter, and I am your host. This is the show that shares the inspiring stories of those that are inspiring others. So let's do this. Our service hero is working to get on with us right now. We have a very special show in that our service hero is in an area that right now is experiencing a huge storm coming once again to the, we've been seeing storm after storm after storm. Firestorms in the west, we've seen in the Gulf of Mexico, and we've seen the hurricanes coming and going, and we have a service hero that has been serving the community in which I'm the president of for the last few years, and now has gone into a community role in serving locally. Currently, he's in an area where there's a lot of wind, there's a lot of weather, and we were going to have him go remote to be able to talk about what it is that is going on right now. So he's working on getting the connection. We will not give up until it happens. And so I do want to recognize who is starting to show up with us today. We do have Helene Wilson. Helene, welcome. So good to see you. The first ambassador of our chat and one of my buddies. And we thank you for welcoming here. And we have Carol Berzins, a producer for our show, one of our senior ambassadors. So grateful you're here. And yes, we've got our service hero. He is in the studio now, so let's bring him on. Rodney, you're on. Hello. Welcome. Do you hear me? Rodney, do you hear me? Okay, I don't have sound, but I do have picture, so this is good. Well, guys, we took a risk here. However, there's a reason for it, so we're going to get through this. We'll make sure to make this happen. He's checking it out right now, and we'll keep going as he is. I don't want Rodney, do you hear me? Let me see if I can give him a message. And this is what's fun about streaming media.
I can hear you.
Can you
hear me?
Yes, I hear you now. Yes, Rodney, welcome. Okay, I heard you for a moment.
Thank you.
Okay, there we go. I heard you.
I can hear you now, loud and clear.
Yes. All right. Well, I was introducing you that you are in the midst of what we call a storm right now, bigger than a storm. You're in the midst of a hurricane coming your way, Delta, which is breaking records for all sorts of different reasons. So, Rodney, I wanted to first of all say thank you for being the service hero that you are, and we're going to go into the history of that in a little bit, but let's tell everybody where you currently are right this minute.
Currently, right now, this minute, we're in the city of Prichard, Alabama.
And Prichard, Alabama, guys, I didn't know where it was. And when I started looking it up on the map, I'm thinking, oh, wow. I didn't realize that you were so close to the Gulf, to the water area. Yep. And because when you think of Alabama, for some reason, I was thinking a little bit more inland. However, right. You're down there. There's a little bit of land, and I'm going to be showing a map in a little bit. There's a little bit of land there that's very, very much been getting hit a lot recently. And you've been working on getting that cleaned up, and here you go again with, and you're going to be on what they call the dirty side of the hurricane, right?
You got it. You got it. You've done your homework.
Hey, the Southern California girls learning a little bit about hurricanes, and thank you very much for it. And
Oh yeah.
so let's go into who you are and what is such a big deal about this, because you guys, this young man, this amazing young man, not, I don't want to make it sound, but you're a few days younger than I am. Let's just put it that way. Wink, wink. That you ran for mayor just recently,
Yeah.
and then in the whole running for mayor, you ended up becoming the current mayor's. Now you're going to be sworn in next month, the chief of staff for the mayor of your city.
Right.
And your background is that you come from military. You're a servant. You are a servant. You Ever since I've known you, you have a servant's heart. You serve in all sorts of different capacities, and you took on the fact that you wanted to be the mayor. Why? Let's go there, and then let's go into your city. Let's talk about your city after we talk about why you wanted to become mayor.
Well, yeah, a lot of my reasoning for becoming mayor, because to my understanding, and sometimes rumor leads you in places that you just never know you'll end up. But initially, I assumed that the incumbent, he wasn't running. And as qualified as he was, I said, hey, our city deserves somebody who's qualified enough to kind of pick up where he left off. And so, as an essence of picking up where he left off, I decided to run. And that consideration, then I saw him running. I was surprised. And so those things changed, and we built a relationship, and we understood where we was coming from. And then we decided to move forward together when everything was the dust settled for the most part.
Excellent, excellent. And in fact, I do have some images that we'll be sharing in a little bit of the two of you going forward together. However, the job at hand right now is that your city is one that I asked you this morning. I said, so have people left? Are people ready for what's coming your way? And your response was what?
Oh yeah, they are ready in a sense, and a lot of them have decided to move into other places just to avoid the storm. We just got hit by Sally, so people were aware of Sally, and they knew how much damage that brought. So they kind of want to avoid this. We was out of power for like 3 days, so a lot of our preparedness comes out of experiencing Sally just a few weeks ago, and now realizing we're going to run into the same experience. So we just want to make sure we prepare for the most part.
For the most part. And so yesterday you were out there helping someone with their roof, right?
Yeah. We was out there getting on top of a roof, just making sure that people had a dry area where they call home. Too often, many of our seniors, they don't have the ability to patch their own roof. They don't have the ability to tarp their own roof. They don't have the ability to do some of the simple things that we can do, and it might only take us 30 minutes. So we decided to, reach out, broadcast, and let people know, because half the battle is letting people know that the option is available, the service is there, and sometimes all you have to do is ask, and then we'll be more than happy to come service those needs. But so yeah, we was out there doing a roof a few weeks ago. I think it was about a week and a half ago. We took down a tree, so a lot of it's a lot of fun, and just to hear the expression of many of the seniors after you do such a phenomenal job in their eyes, there's overwhelmed and overjoyed, and they remember it for years to come. So one good deed, they remember for years to come. So it's amazing, and it's fun to do, and it's exciting.
And you were mentioning to me also that there are some homes out there that right now they may not even have flooring, and there may be some roof damage or some leaky roofs and such things like that. And that was one of the things that I was truthfully, when you were mentioning that to me, I had, and I told you this, that I was concerned that, to make sure that all of the citizens there in your area were aware of the fact. And as I've been watching the jigs and the jags of this storm, which it's a pretty decent sized storm, and they say that it's record breaking, and that
Right.
it, in the way that the winds and the possible, they were saying that a lot of it is the wind damage. There's going to be some storm surge. However, in your particular area, it looks like like I'm Southern California, as you know, and we had the winds in the morning that might come this way, and then the winds in the afternoon that might go that way, and so you might get a double fire whammy, if you're in the
Right.
fire area, because it's
Right.
going to shift. And it looks as though, as you've been watching this storm, that it might actually do a little of that over in your particular area. And so and it's hitting tonight and into tomorrow, correct? Is
You,
really what's forecast.
you got it. And those things, like you said, they can be tricky. You can always project where they might come, and then you never know where they will go. And so in the light of, only thing you can do is try to be prepared. But you're definitely right, and you hit the nail on the head that you just never know. And the biggest thing you can do is just try to, get ready. And then we call them ground troops, but the ground troops get ready too, because immediately that if it does hit us, we have a people that we're concerned about. And I think the list that we have of our senior citizens is about 98 senior citizens long. And we know we need to immediately start having some kind of outreach to them to let them know that, hey, if you're in trouble, if you need help, let us know, and we're coming your way. So it is definitely something we want to be concerned about, and it's definitely something we want to be prepared for.
So your mayor, I did go and I did see that your mayor was actually asking for increased services and hazard pay, kind of like for the first responders, because of the fact that there might be those that are going to need the help, that are possibly still there. Maybe they haven't been able to get out. Maybe they may want to still get out. Are there any right now that that want to get out, but they haven't been able to?
Yeah, it is a lot that want to get out, and there's some that haven't been able to get out. And we do know of those areas, and that's why we put, SOPs in place. And that SOPs is just standard operating procedures for those that can't and those that are willing to. So, yeah, those are the cases as well.
So as we look at this map, Sally, you're talking about Sally, and this has been nearly a record-breaking year for the amount of storms. We're only a couple of storms away from that. However, they were saying, and we're going to get a clip here soon, about Delta being a record breaker. So you have Sally that came through and did some damage, and now you have the Delta coming in. And not to mention where Delta's hitting right now, which, shout out to Misty Lane and all of our friends down in that area, because, they're getting hit once again. And where it is actually landing, they haven't, they're a little, Laura was a little bit after Sally. And so, it's like, they're just like, come on, really? Again, right now. Okay. So, the idea here that you have the winds, the rain, the everything. When I was watching, I remember, and I told you about this, I remember when Katrina hit. I think we all remember Katrina hitting. And you remember seeing those images of the people that were there in the stadium. You have the images afterwards of what happened there, and then all of the, there's a lot of pain that's associated with those memories. And so when you think of people that might be in an area that might be that either they don't have the vehicles, they don't have the resources, they may have nowhere to go, whatever it may be, immediately it's like, okay, all hands on deck. What can we do? What can we do? What can we do to make a difference in one area? And so that's why I asked if we could do something. And thank you for trying to do the remote, and I know you had to get in the car because, we were having problems with connections, guys. We had all these grand plans of doing this, like, out there and showing and all this kind of stuff. But hey, it's live. And so if those standard operation procedures, those people that you know of that would like to be able to get out, but they haven't been able to get out, if you had people that said, okay, Rodney, I'm willing to help. I'm only an hour. I'm only 2 hours away. I can get there. I can come and get someone. They can stay with me. I'm safe. I'm blah, 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 vet me, whatever it is. Let's get them out. Is there a way for us to make that happen today?
Oh, yeah. There's definitely ways to make that happen. We have everything from transportation. We have everything from resources when it comes to food and water. We have resources that comes to lighting and generators and fuel. So the things that you commonly are faced with that are fundamentals of life, we kind of have those bases covered. Now, when it gets to, are you going to have your big screen television? Probably not. We're going to have to get back to the board games and the card playing and just the things that normally make us laugh and feel that comfort and feel at ease as human beings. So just the fundamentals.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, there is definitely a way to do that. And we have those resources. And we usually just ask people to reach out to us. We have a lot of contact information on the city's page at thecityofprichard.org. Our personal pages, we have Facebook pages, Instagram pages, and a ton of places where those opportunities and avenues of communication are open.
Okay, so if someone's sitting there right now, because I put it out there, I did. I'm like, okay, you guys can be service heroes today. And I want you, let's start thinking this way. We need more service heroes showing up. And not only is this area that Rodney's in at risk, we've got a lot of, you look at all the areas there, and a lot of these areas, why now? Why Service Heroes show now? Number one, total disclosure, it's because we were going to go live another day, and we had to schedule to today, and we had this already scheduled, and then lo and behold, this is happening, and it's like, okay, this had to not be an accident. This had to be for a reason. And as I was looking at this, I'm thinking, okay, the reason for all of this happening must be that we need to get this story out there, because this area, all of the area from where it's hitting right now in Louisiana to where it's going has been hit and hit and hit. And you talk about exhaustion of people and spirits and sometimes probably even resources, because they were talking about tarps for roofs and your governor even, do you mind if I got a little clip from your governor, and I'd love to just play the very beginning of it, because I think it says a lot right here. Okay.
As our coastal areas are still recovering from Hurricane Sally, another system, Hurricane Delta, is making its way toward the Gulf Coast and could potentially have a significant impact on Alabama. Earlier today, I signed a state of emergency to begin Alabama's preparation process and position us to be able to declare a pre-landfall disaster declaration with FEMA. Additionally, I am issuing a mandatory evacuation for all tourists and visitors.
And then she goes on to talk about the fact that you have people that are on the roads and the grounds and in the state right now cleaning up from Sally. And she goes on to say, I do not want you to stop cleaning up until the very last minute, because we need you to be cleaning up from Sally, even though we have Delta coming. Right. And she was so cute too about, well, we really do want you to come back. We may be banishing you from our state right now, but we're doing that because we care. We want you to come back and visit us again. But right now, you might be in harm's way. Right. What a tough thing for a place to be. I mean, truthfully, and then you throw a pandemic on top of it. How does that play in? How does that play?
It hurts, to be honest with you. Just because the pandemic alone was enough to, leave some people unemployed. It was enough to leave people displaced. It was enough to leave, children displaced. And just when you thought it was over with, you have the hurricanes that come after.
Yeah. I'm going to play another clip from one of the news stations because it talks about Delta and just really what we've been facing this season.
Delta, the 25th named storm of 2020, already a record breaker. The Greek alphabet is being used, as you know, because the season has used up all the designated names. Delta has only been used once before in 2005, but this is the earliest in the calendar year that it's ever appeared. It only took 30 hours for Delta to grow from a tropical depression into a Cat 4 hurricane. Its wind speed increased by 85 miles an hour from Monday to Tuesday. That's the quickest jump in one day this season. And when it does make landfall, Delta will become the 10th named storm to hit the U.S., the most in 1 year.
Okay, he'll be back. He'll be back. Don't worry, guys. So let me see what everybody is saying right now, because I don't know about you guys, but this is pretty big when you start thinking about historic. I mean, we've been having records since when about storms, and this one is the very first time. It's this first time in the season that they've gotten this far in the Greek alphabet, and it's close to being the worst season on record. And the thing, when you start looking at the paths, they've been nearly in the same place. That's why, seriously, guys, all hands on deck. It's time for service heroes to be showing up. It's time, if you know someone in these areas, we all have those stubborn friends. We all have those stubborn relatives that they're, no, I'm good. I don't want to leave. I don't want to this. I don't want to that. And yet we have services that have been taxed. And Rodney knows, because he's in he's part of the city, and those that are in the management part of taking care of this kind of a thing. Here we go. Here we are. You're back. Welcome to Service Heroes, Rodney. Now, Rodney has actually been recognized as a service hero once before, but it's been a while, my dear. And I want to share with everybody a little bit about the past, a blast from the past before we go forward with the future. Do you hear me? I want to make sure you hear me first. Are you hearing me? I don't think he's hearing me. That's what I thought. Can you hear me? I don't think he's hearing me. All right. I'm sure he's working on it. So while he's working on that, I'm going to let all of you know that Rodney actually was introduced to me about this time 3 years ago. And at that time, he was in Vegas, and he in the military, and he did our very first promo video for the very first telethon that we ever did 3 years ago. So I'm going to share his rendition of our very first video, promo video for the telethon, benefiting our buddies, Kumo Buddies for Life. Here you go. Well, Hopefully, can you at least hear me, Rodney? No. Okay, so I'm going to remove him. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, not sure what's going on there. Okay, so guys, we're having some technical difficulties because our goal was to be able to do some type of a remote. We knew that because of the storm coming where he's at right now, that there was a likelihood that we may have some connection problems. That was a risk anywhere he would have been in his city, because right now his city, which I'm going to bring up right now here, is in the Alabama area. And as I was talking with him a little earlier, I was not aware of the fact that where he is very, very close to the shoreline, and the way that the storm is coming in, they're going to get the dirty side of the storm, and the productions of this particular storm. And as I just played that clip not long ago, this one is breaking records in all sorts of different ways, and it's accelerated, even though just recently it's done some deceleration. There's still the unknown, and their area was really hit because of Sally. A lot of these areas, everywhere within this cone of possibility, has been hit a lot, guys. So I put the call out. And I don't do that often, but when I do, it really means something to me. And that is, we all have a service hero inside of us, and we all know people. Or you know people that know people. And here we go. We've got him back. Okay, we've got you muted for some reason. Let's get you unmuted. I can't unmute you. Oh, there we go. Can you hear me? Okay, can you hear me? Rodney? Hello? No? All right, well, we'll let him still work on that as we're talking. And let me get back to my graphic here. Get up to here. So the whole idea here is, I want you guys to look at this. I'm going to go backwards. Look at all of these. This is this year, the different storms that have come, that landfall and have done damage that has not been repaired. If you've ever lived anywhere where there's been damage and then there's more damage coming on top of it, that's insult to injury, right? Okay, we've got that going on right now, and we've had it going on a few times. So if you know someone, if you're close enough, if you can help in any which way. Rodney is from the city. He is being sworn in chief of staff to the mayor in Prichard, Alabama. Now, that's only one city of many cities in this area. When he was explaining to me some of the homes that are there, this is one of the reasons he ran for mayor. And like he said, he didn't think the incumbent was running again. He did, he won. Rodney is now his chief of staff, will be sworn in to be this next month. Part of it is that they are working for that next generation. Rodney grew up in the area. He's entrepreneurial, and he wants to be able to bring that commerce, bring the ability for the city to thrive. There are too many, as he was explaining to me, that have dirt floors and their roofs have water coming in. You put that combination together, and if they're senior citizens, that's not a good combination right now. And we need to be pulling together. And yes, it sometimes can be too much if many don't come through the right system for the help. But like Rodney was saying, they know who wants to get out and maybe can't. They know who maybe needs to get out, but they don't want to. They at least know, and that's part of their standard operating procedures. And they could use the help. So we are going to make sure that in the comments of this particular show that you're going to have the information to be able to get a hold of Rodney, to be able to get a hold of the city and the other cities in the area. I know that Lake Charles right now, Lake Charles is being hit as we speak. Lake Charles, we know, was hit very badly with Laura. So let's see. Okay, I have to run and drive now. Okay. Well, thank you, Carol. Thank you so very much. And I am finding my way back to my purpose. I've been doing curves instead of staying. You know what, Sherry, I will say this is that any movement is movement, and celebrate the movement. Hashtag time to move. Celebrate movement. And when you're looking for your purpose and you're passion driven, you'll find it. You'll always find it. It always finds a way to win. Passion and purpose always does. Let me see what is going on. Okay, he's back. Let's see if it works this time. Okay, do we have a success? We have so. Success. I love it. See, can I just say I love you, Rodney, because you are, and I know this about you because of even working with you 3 years ago. You're the kind of person that doesn't give up. 3 years ago, when we first were introduced, you were a busy guy. I mean, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're helping the youth, you serve and you serve and you serve. And yet, you're like, okay, I hear you need a promo video. I want to serve you. I love what you're doing. And you found a way to squeeze out some moments out of your unbelievable busy schedule to serve our community and give us that fun promo video. I will never forget it. And so I actually then honored you on Thanksgiving. It was Thanksgiving that you were the service hero that year. And I remember that because It was like, and you were back home, actually, full circle, wink, wink, when on Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah. Yep. And now we're together 3 years later, and your city, and I got to give you you are still doing it. And you know what? I'm going to give you props because I have some images here, guys, and I really want you guys to understand how much I admire this man. Okay, here's his stuff. I mean, yes, he was running for mayor. Yet when he found out, and he in such a heartfelt way, he's real. He's a real guy. I mean, you want to go learn about him, you'll see him with the chainsaw going out there, and he might be in a suit here, but you'll usually see him in jeans and t-shirt out there serving, and with cutting down the trees and helping this and doing that. And where we have here, this is the mayor, and there you are. I love that. Let's continue the progress.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yep. Exactly. And so you are doing it. And this is blast from the past stuff. It's like, okay, here you are. I want people to see the real you. You're fun.
Yeah.
You serve, you work with others. You make sure if there's a need, you're going to show up. And you're not usually one. And I know this must have not been something that you must have been really humble about this one, because I know you. And it's like, okay, yeah, we've got to take the images to share. However, like, okay, it's that's the fine balance when you're in politics. You have to at least let people know you're there to help them and that you're doing something. And
right.
And yet it can seem like you're boastful, but I know you are a servant. And so there are some of those bags of food. I love it. And this one I really wanted to ask you about, the green bus.
Yep. The green bus.
Tell us about the green bus, because it fascinates me.
That was a big shout out to our children. The show that we did care. I remember riding on the yellow school bus, and too many times you get to not see that yellow bus come out anymore. And green was just a better color, I guess, to illuminate during the time, because it was such a downtime for a lot of the children, and they just said, we was asking them, hey, what color makes you happy? What color's available? And they was just, all of them was like green, and they was tying it into money, because the younger children are like, hey, we want to get money so we can buy candy and chips, and they at home all the time. So we said, let's get a green bus. And so just to kind of infuse the children into politics, and let them know about legislative, let them know about their right to vote, and let them know about, volunteering and serving as well. We had a bunch of little small service heroes. And those small service heroes, they came out during that campaign, and we wanted to definitely keep them safe. So we said, what better way than let them all ride together on the school bus. And they served during the campaign, they served before and after the campaign. And they all rode the school bus and laughed and talked and played and had a lot of music and a bunch of candy and chips and just a lot of things to keep them entertained. So they had a lot of fun. And that's what we wanted to portray, that even the children can get involved at their young age to understand what's going on and to be involved in every arena that's available for them.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yep.
And so, and that right there shows, again, your heart, and you've always had a heart for working with the kids, and that is one of the things that I always remembered about you. You getting up early in the morning. Well, you're an early riser, and late. I don't know how you do it, but you do it, and working with the kids and helping them, and you were doing it in Vegas too, and thank you for that. We need to engage. We need to engage so many. Right now, though, truthfully, I'm thinking about it as I'm even saying it. I'm sure there's those young families too that they are probably right now in situations where they may need help. The senior citizens, though, are the ones that maybe are in some type of care facilities, or they're maybe somehow at home with assisted, kind of like wheelchairs or some kind of assistance that's needed. I really do, again, want to let people know how they can help your city. And if your city is okay, other cities around, because like your governor was saying, as I've listened to some of the different mayors and governors of the adjoining states around you, a lot of them are saying we're getting there. We're at this point where we need, this is getting a lot. This is getting to be a lot. We're doing all we can. However, we're at that point where we're going to need a little bit of help. That's why the governor's putting, wrote, signed the declaration and being proactive. What can people do if they say, okay, I see the need. I see that there's an issue. I see that it's an ongoing issue. How can I be of service?
And a lot of it comes to the point of fact of if you see and then you do. Sometimes everyone thinks it's like a grand scale of things that we have to do to make a difference. And if you look outside and look next door to your neighbor and you see that a tree kind of fell into their home, but they may not know, who to reach out to. Sometimes you have to just be that advocate. And a lot of our services, we started on YouTube, watching YouTube videos and on the YouTube University. And then we started seeing ourselves get into more commercial aspects. So we knew licenses were there. But before, early on, we learned a lot of things just by seeing somebody in need and say, hey, we don't know how to do that. Let's figure out how to do it to be of service to them. And as a result, you get a bunch of skills that you necessarily didn't have in the first place. But now you realize that commercially you have to have a license for. But for the most part, you reach out, you research, you kind of develop yourself in a way not to give up. And just like the video that we had trouble with today, we just kept trying, and we didn't want to quit. We just want to still make this happen because it's supposed to, and it's nothing that's going to stop us. So the same attitude has to be there. But for the most part, a direct link would be our city's webpage if you're interested in the city of Prichard at thecityofprichard.org. And then also reaching out to the service leaders that you see in those areas and just asking how you could be of some service. And that's definitely gets the ball rolling. And then there's other avenues like the first aid. I lost the name now. Red Cross. There it is.
Right. American Red Cross. And then they always have them for the regional areas. So they have the local and regional Red Crosses. And for those that don't know, the Red Cross does not receive money from the government. They are they self, and so then that way they can serve as they see needed, and they don't have to abide by what the government says that they're going to do. And so that's one of the big things that they do claim for the Red Cross. And then what if people are watching this and they're nowhere close to any of the states that are being affected by the hurricanes and even the fires, and they're saying, okay, I'm really lucky. I'm in an area we haven't had any issues this year except for the pandemic, but that's worldwide. But other than that, we're doing good. And they want to reach out and help. Can someone from long distance actually make a difference in your city?
Oh yeah, there's also all types of differences you can make from afar. And for a point in time, I was in Las Vegas, and one of the options or opportunities I had to still protect what I consider home was for me to actually, contribute in a donation type of way. And those donation types of ways exist across the land by just being able to understand that opportunities like Feeding America, I can donate to Feeding America and take on the part that I can have to myself to say that I did do something to help the area that was in need. So those opportunities do present themselves even from afar. So you can always take those opportunities as well.
Excellent. And what if they know someone right now? They're saying, okay, Rodney, I'm feeling it, and I do know someone that's in your area. That's right. My Aunt Sally's there. My Aunt Sue, my Uncle Fred, is there. And they check up on them, and they're realizing, I'm a little worried, kind of like a well check or something. Can they call you guys for well checks or, like that kind of thing? And up to what time? Because I'm sure there's going to be, cutoff because of the storm coming or the hurricane coming that, maybe they can or can't go out there right now. Do we have cutoffs, or do we know what those are right now?
We don't necessarily promote or even have to say that there is a cutoff, because you never know the dynamics of what someone may be in. So we don't want to discourage you by saying that there is a time that you can report an incident. We hope that you will report it regardless, and then we hope that there's an ability to respond in a timely fashion. But there's your first response is always going to be the 911. But in a latter altitude, when it comes to a tree being in the yard or roof being repaired, we know that's not 911. So then we have a little bit of time. So we always want to promote the fact that there is a response that can be there, and initially is that 911 service that's available to you. But however, when the time permits, let's go ahead and serve the needs that we know that can't be fixed and serviced by 911. But those opportunities are there too.
Awesome. Wonderful. Well, that is reassuring, because I know that there has to be a reason, the way that this all went down, for the timing for us to get together and share, because truthfully, guys, we're going on to the next Give-a-thon, and I'm thinking, wow, and here's Rodney running for mayor in the very beginning. I'm like, mayor, really? And in fact, the very first time I saw it, I'm like, did I see that right? And you're like, yeah, you saw it right. I'm like, you know what? Of all my friends, you're one that I would see absolutely going that route. And I was so excited about it. And so then I thought, okay, we got to do this commemoration thing and kind of put it all together, because when you feel called to serve your community, that is truly service at its best. And you have already been in the military. You have served us in the military. Now you are serving in your community. What now going forward in the next 90 days? Because you were like, okay, yeah, we got a plan. We got a plan for the next 90 days. And you're excited about it. So why don't you give us a little bit of a glimpse, if you can, of what the next 90 days are going to look like once you get through the storm?
Yeah, definitely. That's the first one. So just to kind of give a glimpse, and I appreciate you doing your research, man. You've always been phenomenal at surprising your guests, and I watch you, and you just have your ducks and always surprise the guests. But for the first 90 days, we definitely want people to feel the change. We definitely want you to know that you made a decision that was worthwhile and that voting matters and voting counts. The effort shown by the citizens was just phenomenal. So that effort has to be, resonated in the way to show them that they matter. So initially, our first step is to kind of answer the call to the food desert that's in the city of Prichard. And we're going to try our best at 30 days and try to get our citizens fed. Even during the storm or a pandemic, the mayor's already signed off on what's considered a safe room. And that safe room kind of gives us an opportunity to repurpose it to ensure that our citizens are then fed. We also got the delivery service there. We got some giant businesses coming in from Popeyes. We got car washes. We also have the opportunity to speak with Walmart and Amazon. And things are just coming together within those first 30 days up to 90 days to kind of let those citizens see the change immediately. A lot of times when we study the history, a lot of things happen. People want them to happen almost instantaneously, but we know these things take time. But we have committed ourselves to being almost instantaneous when it comes to the needs of our citizens. A lot of that planning had to come prior to us even realizing we were going to be elected or sitting in the office or a seat. And we kind of have to still work as if we already know the outcome based on the citizens' response. So that's how it's happening so fast. Not that it happens fast, but it's happening so fast because we've been working on it since probably the last 90 days. So the first 90 days seemed like it's going to be like, wow, that was fast. Well, it's actually been 180 days. We just started. So we started sooner than later. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's still fast. For anybody that knows anything about the political system, that's fast. And I will say this, and what I know about you is that you can get a lot done because you are disciplined and you make it happen. You make it happen, and you figure it out. You get your timetables. You work it out with the end in mind, and you're a man that shows up and gets it done. And I can't even tell you enough of how proud I am of you and how excited I am to be a cheerleader on the sides. Of course, we got to get through this period of time right now, and that is job one. And I'm so grateful that you were willing to get out there. And guys, again, we made it happen, and thank you for sticking with it and being in your car, because we were going to have this whole remote thing, and it's perfect. It's perfect how it was meant to be. And with the message that you're sharing right now, I really hope that people are hearing it. So I'd like you to give us the last thought. What is it that you would like to leave everybody with right now? As he's frozen.
I would like everybody just to know that regardless how big or how small the situation is, you can make a difference. If it's just as small as, picking up trash in your community, you got to kind of keep that mentality that we all can, we all will. And at some point in time, we all must. If we want to see a difference in our city and want to see a difference in our state, we want to see a difference in our country. During the times of, some of the worst times, we really have to realize that pulling together is our best option. And that regardless of what it is, just being committed, connected, concise, and consistent is what's going to lead us to the finish line.
That's good. That's good. All right. Well, I am going to say this, that once again, we have made the case that you, Rodney Clements, are a service hero. You are serving those in your community. You are serving your passion and your purpose is all about service, and you are truly a hero, a service hero. I know it. You have been there for me, you've been there for my community, and you are showing up once again for your own community. I want to say thank you now for showing up for a larger community, those people that will be watching this in live and in replay, saying, okay, we need to be taking care of those people right now that are feeling a bit fatigued because they keep getting hit and hit and hit. And we together, this is an opportunity for us all to see that we are service heroes, and that little bit, like picking up the trash, to the big, to bringing business to another area and saying, yes, we're going to shake hands with you, and we're going to do business there, and we're going to vitalize the city again. Those type of stands are going to be what's going to make our world a much better place going into 2021. So I want to say thank you so very much for being here and being the man that you are.
Thank you too for having us, and thank you for being committed to this. This is amazing. I know you've been trailblazing, and just the amount of awards and recognition that you have, and they don't even go as far as deserving as I know your heart is, and I know your story, and you've always been phenomenal in my heart. So I appreciate it, just having the opportunity to be here once again, because you truly are phenomenal. So we appreciate you too.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Okay, guys, I want you all, please, 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 all of you that are watching this right now, please see what in your heart, if you're feeling called right now in your heart to do something, please do it. Do it now. Pick up your phone. Check and see how you can serve someone else before that next thing happens and you forget. So pick up your phone right this minute and find out how you can serve. Find out if your family's okay. Check on a friend. Do whatever you need to do, and do it right now. Okay, because you may be that one service hero that's going to make a difference for that one person that absolutely needs you right now. All right, let's make a difference together, guys. See you on Monday. Bye.
Thanks, Ms. Hunter.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.